My friends always used to say that Sarah and I were the perfect couple. And for a long time, I believed it too. We met in college, two art history majors who fell in love over dusty textbooks and late-night study sessions. We got married right after graduation, full of dreams about opening our own gallery one day. The first few years were a whirlwind of building our careers, saving up, and turning our small apartment into a home. Life was good. It was simple, but over the past year something started to feel off. It wasn't one big thing, but a collection of tiny, almost unnoticeable shifts. Sarah, who once shared every detail of her day, became more reserved. Her phone, once left casually on the counter, was now always in her pocket or face down on the table. She started having late nights at the office more frequently, coming home smelling faintly of a cologne that wasn't mine. At first I brushed it off. I told myself I was being paranoid. We were both stressed with work. Maybe we were just in a slump. I tried to talk to her to reconnect. I'd suggest date nights, weekend getaways, anything to bring back that old spark. But she'd always have an excuse. "I'm too tired, Mark," she'd say, or "I have an early meeting tomorrow." Each excuse was like a small paper cut, insignificant on its own, but together they were starting to bleed me dry. The real turning point came on our anniversary. I'd spent weeks planning the perfect evening. I booked a table at the restaurant where we had our first date and even bought her a beautiful necklace she'd been admiring for months. I was so excited, thinking this was our chance to fix things. But when I got home from work, I found a note on the kitchen counter. "So sorry, honey. A last-minute work emergency came up. Have to fly to Chicago. We'll celebrate when I get back. Love, Sarah." My heart sank. A work emergency? On our anniversary? I called her office, just on a whim. The receptionist, a kind woman named Carol, sounded surprised. "Sarah? No, she left for the day hours ago. She said she was feeling unwell." That was it. The lie was so blatant, so careless. The image of our happy life shattered into a million pieces. I knew right then, with a sickening certainty, that she wasn't in Chicago. She wasn't sick. She was with someone else. Instead of getting angry, a strange sense of calm washed over me. The confusion and self-doubt were gone, replaced by a cold, hard clarity. I wasn't going to confront her, not yet. If she was going to lie, I wanted to see just how far she would take it. So I decided to play along. I texted her back, "Oh no, hope you feel better. Stay safe in Chicago, I love you." The lie felt bitter in my mouth. For the next 2 days, I lived in a surreal play. Sarah would send me texts about her boring meetings and the terrible hotel food. She even sent a stock photo of the Chicago skyline she'd clearly pulled from the internet. Meanwhile, I was doing some digging of my own. It wasn't hard to find the truth. A quick look at our shared credit card statement told me everything I needed to know. Charges from a fancy boutique hotel, not near the airport, but in a cozy, romantic part of our own city. And 2 tickets to a concert I knew she wanted to see, purchased a month ago. I felt like I was watching a movie of someone else's life. I went to work, I talked to friends, I walked the dog, all while carrying this heavy, secret knowledge. I saw her car parked outside a downtown bistro I knew she loved. And from across the street I watched her laugh and touch the arm of a man I vaguely recognized from her office. They looked so comfortable, so happy. It was a punch to the gut. She didn't look tired or stressed at all. She looked alive. The evening she was supposed to fly back from Chicago, I prepared. I cleaned the apartment until it was spotless. I cooked her favorite meal, lasagna, the one I always made for special occasions. I set the table with our best china and lit candles. I even put on the soft jazz playlist she loved. I wanted the scene to be perfectly, cruelly normal. When she walked through the door, she feigned exhaustion perfectly. "Oh, honey, I'm so glad to be home," she sighed, dropping her small, conspicuously light suitcase. Chicago was brutal. She looked around the apartment, a flicker of surprise in her eyes. Wow, what's all this? I missed you, I said, my voice steady. I thought we could have our anniversary dinner tonight instead. She smiled, a relieved, genuine-looking smile that made my stomach churn. That's so sweet of you, Mark. We sat down to eat, and she launched into a detailed, fabricated story about her trip. She talked about the demanding clients, the long presentations, the lonely hotel room. She was a brilliant actress. I listened patiently, nodding, asking questions, letting her dig her own grave deeper and deeper with every word. How was the flight? I asked casually, taking a sip of wine. Oh, bumpy. I hate flying, she said with a little shiver. Right, I nodded. It must have been especially tough since all flights to and from Chicago were canceled for the past 2 days due to that massive storm. Silence. The air in the room suddenly became thick and heavy. Sarah's fork clattered onto her plate. The color drained from her face. Her smile faltered and then disappeared completely. She just stared at me, her eyes wide with panic. I didn't raise my voice. I just looked at her, my expression calm. I also called your office. They said you'd taken a few sick days, and I saw the charge for the hotel, the one that's a 20-minute drive from here, and the concert tickets. I let the facts hang in the air between us. Each one was a nail in the coffin of our marriage. The lies, the deceit, the casual betrayal. It was all out in the open, laid bare on the table right next to the lasagna. She started to stammer, trying to form an excuse, but no words came out. The masterful performance was over. All that was left was the ugly truth. In that moment, I didn't feel anger or even sadness anymore. I just felt empty. The woman I had loved, the life we had built, it was all an illusion. She hadn't just been lying for the past few days. She had been lying for months, maybe longer. She thought I didn't know, that I was oblivious, but I'd been watching the whole time, waiting for the truth to finally come out. And now that it had, I knew nothing would ever be the same again. The perfect couple was a lie, and it was time for the show to end. It's been a few months since that night. The divorce is almost final. It's been hard, but uncovering the truth, as painful as it was also liberating. It allowed me to stop living in a state of confusion and start moving toward a future based on honesty. Thank you for listening to my story. If you're going through something difficult, remember that the truth, no matter how tough, is always the first step to healing. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories. Stay strong,